Today we're going to be talking about Emotional Agility by Susan David. She has her PhD in psychology, and she knows her stuff. And I read the book. Actually, I listened to the audiobook. And for me, there's just something about listening to an audiobook while cleaning up around the house early in the morning that's just peaceful for me. Like, you guys got to find something that works for you. I don't know, especially when authors read the book. I feel like they give you a little bit of extra emphasis on it and it's more enjoyable for me. And then she has an English accent, which makes it more enjoyable. But anyways, one of the first things that she goes about with emotional agility is that, as you kind of go through life, like sometimes you just have these random waves of emotions and you have to have the emotional agility to kind of deal with them because we all got something going on. And her first analogy that she uses is a gymnast. Gymnasts in the Olympics are doing backflips and somersaults and all these crazy moves and things, and they make it look so smooth and effortless. They make it look easy. And her main point that she's getting at is the stuff they're doing is incredibly difficult. And there's a lot of times where they're accidentally over-rotating or under-rotating where things don't go quite like planned. And they have the strong enough core to like counterbalance any wrong moves to make everything seem smooth and easy. And what she's talking about is they have great agility. They have great agility to counterbalance anything that can go wrong or to keep everything planned. And that's where we need to have emotional agility. We have to have the ability to counterbalance and move as, crazy life comes at us. We have to be able to move around and make things work. For instance, some days you're just going to wake up sad. You're going to feel down and depressed. And you have to have the emotional agility to acknowledge, like, dang, I am feeling sad. Why is that? And you can either A, think about it or just acknowledge it like it's just a random feeling. Some days you're going to come in feeling angry for no reason. And it doesn't even make sense. Or maybe it does make sense and maybe there's a deeper thing you got to deal with. Like you got to have the emotional agility to figure out which of the two it is and kind of work from there. And so one of the first things she says that just made a lot of sense to me, that just because you have a thought doesn't mean it's true. Our brain is just randomly connecting things all the time. It's like a little kid in a little candy store or a toy store, just running around connecting random ideas. I know sometimes I'll be washing the dishes and, turn on the garbage disposal and be like, what would it feel like to put your hand in there? Like, what kind of crazy thought is that? Like, because I had the thought, am I really going to put my hand in there? No, it's just a random, stupid thought that doesn't even make sense. And sometimes those thoughts are a little bit more tricky. Sometimes it's, it's random. Sometimes we fall into the rabbit hole, right? Sometimes it's a feeling. It's a feeling of sadness. I've had that time where like, what the heck? Why do I feel sad? I'm like, I don't know. I just must be a sad person. And then I go into this whole rabbit hole about how my whole life is sad and I have all these terrible things happening to me. And then it all started with a feeling of sadness that wasn't even true. There really wasn't anything connected to it. I just got into that whole spiral of negativity and spent a couple hours feeling down and depressed. So what she's getting at is just because you have a thought doesn't mean you have to believe it to be true. Just because you have a feeling doesn't mean it's true. Sometimes you have to analyze and say, hey, why do I feel sad? If there is no reason, it's just a random feeling. And you just have to let it go. Now, if there is a reason for the feeling, that's something you can work through and talk about it with somebody. That's a whole nother story. But one of the best things she said in the book that really got to me was having to do something versus wanting to do something. When I have to do something, it has this negative feeling, has this terrible feeling that I just can't stand. And, oh, I have to work out. Oh my God, it's going to be so terrible. Versus I want to do something. I want to work out. I want to feel good. I want to get in better shape. I want to feel better about the way I look. All those things. I think there's something about saying I want to do something instead of saying I have to do something, because it makes you focus on why are you doing it. When you focus on why you have to do something or why you want to do something, it just seems so much better. I mean, you saw it right there with the workout thing. Oh, I have to work out. It's going to be terrible. I want to work out because I want to feel better. I want to work out because I want to get that nice little energy boost. I want to feel better, feel accomplished, like I did something. And that's what you guys got to do. You have these things where instead of saying you have to do it, say you want to do it and see how much better everything goes from there. I wish I had more time, but I know it's Easter. I want everybody to enjoy themselves today. So I'll actually put it in the comments. It's Emotional Agility by Susan David. And you can accomplish anything you want as long as you're willing to sacrifice and put in the work. I believe in you. Go get it.